Mike Bruce gets 8th and 2nd tonight. Let's get the first one done first because you redrew and had a much better chance in the second one. How was it in the first one? Because some guys were saying track was just so hot, it was hard to get the car to turn.
Yeah, that was pretty much what it was. We were actually tick 2 free. We were too good at the beginning.
Oh, you were the other
race.
side.
Yeah,
okay.
we were tick 2 free at the beginning. The heat race, we were pretty tight and couldn't get the car to turn, so we freed it up, which we typically don't do. Had to try something because we had to pass some cars and stuff, so it's just kind of living and learning, I guess. So we were tick 2 free for the first feature. Once I started getting passed by a couple of the faster cars, I just kind of held on, saved my tires. I knew I was going to be in the redraw for the second one, so there's no point in pushing it and tearing up your stuff.
Yeah, because I wondered about that because you got a total of 92 laps on the tires, so it really was a factor at some point, I think, for everybody.
Yeah, it makes it interesting. With the different wing package not having all the downforce that we used to have, you're playing with having to save tires again. You can't just go all out. It's super easy to overdrive these cars. When you overdrive the cars, that uses up, gets your tires hot, gets your brakes hot, stuff like that. So I think it's putting the race back into the racer's hands a little bit instead of the cars just being playing in the background.
I hadn't thought about the brakes heating up, but you're right. Now, what happens at that point? Does it just you just not feel it working pretty much when the brakes heat up?
So
I'm not familiar with that.
Abel got in front of me on the first feature, and I was talking to him at the redraw, and when he got in front of me, he let off. He doesn't drive into the corner very much, and I drove into the back of him. I drive into the corner really hard. I use quite a bit of brake. There's advantages and disadvantages depending on how the car's set up to being able to drive that way. The first feature we used up, got our brakes way too. First feature.
I wondered what that was.
That's my girlfriend's loud cups that she's got. So.
What is that? Is it the straw?
It's some fancy cup. You drink your drink out of it, and it has a big horn on it also. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the first feature, I used my brakes up a little bit too much, got the fluid hot. So when we came in, we rebled all the brakes and everything because once you boil the fluid there, they're junk. You lose your pedal and stuff.
So you have to drain all the fluid and start all over again, one corner at a time, right?
Yeah, we just pump new fluid through it. Yeah, you don't drain it out because that puts air in the system.
Oh, right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So tell me about the second race. I thought you had him a couple of times.
The second race, we went back to what we did 2 weeks ago, and my crew chief, Bobby, he's a heck of a guy, but he told me, he says, Abel got you a couple weeks ago. Now it's your turn to repay the favor and get him back. So Abel had the better starting position, but we sailed to the outside around the couple, the 0 and 66 there right on the start, and I just didn't lift. I just drove my butt off the whole 40 laps that we had, trying to at least keep with him because I knew if we got to lap traffic would be my best chance to get by him.
And you had a couple of those opportunities.
A guy like Abel doesn't make mistakes very often. They've been racing forever, his father and everything. They don't make mistakes very often. So I knew my best chance was going to be lap traffic and being super aggressive with it. So we had a couple options on the restart. I thought we were going to get there, but we were just a little too tight time. We just couldn't get back to the throttle like we needed to be able to pinch him. He knew I was to the outside of him. He knew I was there. There was a couple of times he did the high-low. I probably could have drove it in and nerf barred him out of the way, but it was a good hard race between the two of us, and we both have much respect for each other. So it ain't worth taking a chance at wrecking your own stuff or wrecking somebody else. It's too old for that stuff. It takes too much time and money to fix the cars when you wreck them. So I try to avoid that now.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed watching it, and you're smiling, so it's a good night, right?
Yeah, I hate second place. I'll tell you.
I know.
I'm a huge Porsche sport. I hate second place, especially 2 weeks in a row. But we had a good run. We got a lot of friends and family. We got some friends up from Florida.
Nice.
My aunt came down from Auburn for the first time ever. So we have a lot of friends and family here for 4th of July weekend, and we're having a lot of fun.
Enjoy the rest of the night, man.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.